What's up, baby gang? I wanted to do a helpful video and give you guys tips on how to get your first apartment and how to choose your first apartment wisely. So, real spill, no bullshit.
Gum while she thumb through her weed. Pop bubble gum while she thumb through her weed. Pop bubble gum while she thumb.
So, first things first is having your money together. And by having your money together, I mean be working a job. You have to be having some sort of an income and proof that you have that income, i.e. pay stub, bank statements, whatever. So basically you're going to look for your price range. And when you put in your price range, like typically you're going to be looking on an app, or some people like to look by foot. You know, actually get out there and drive around and find apartments, because sometimes these apartments be like back to back, next door, clustered up, and they're all not showing on the apps for some reason, but it happens. So actually you need to do both. You need to do both. You need to get online, apartment hunt, and get a general idea on your phone, and get out there and go to the area you're thinking about staying in and apartment hunt by car. Your price range. When I first started looking for apartments, I'm in Michigan, so I started as low as between 500 and 6. Honestly, I started as low as 406 because we have up and down. Are those called two-family flats? No, that's side by side. I was staying in the up and down, so it's like some of them even just look like houses, and someone lives upstairs and someone lives downstairs, totally separate. And they start off at a very reasonable price since two people are living there. So your price range, I don't know how old some of you are. I'm just going to assume that some of you are between the ages of 18 and maybe in your 20s, mid 20s even. I don't know, you know, somewhere around there. So you're going to get that general idea. Once you know your price range of how much rent you're willing to pay, and you just, first of all, you decide how much rent you're willing to pay based on if you have any other bills, and most of you probably don't have any other bills, so you should be able to afford your rent. So but do you have a car note, or I want to say, what's some bills that don't change for me that I always have to think about and include when it comes to paying rent? I have childcare, and I also have car notes. So that's what I think about. Am I going to be able to pay this amount of rent and this note? Or your phone bill. Some of y'all have high ass phone bills. You don't want to, you know, and then you may only be working at a certain place, bringing in a certain amount of income, and you don't want to overwhelm yourself. So you need to be making at least twice that rent in a month. So in a month, wherever you're working, you need to be, for an apartment, I think you just, okay, so for an apartment is going to look at your gross. But you in your mind need to know, fuck the gross, because we don't see that shit. You need to know net-wise, am I making twice this? Can I really, really pay it? Like, and don't lie to yourself. Don't try to keep up with your friends. I don't know. Keep it real with yourself when you're apartment hunting, because this is something you're going to be responsible for. So, be making at least twice your amount of rent. Twice the amount of rent that you're looking at. Be prepared, because most apartments, after you fill out an application, which is, some of them have no fee, some of them are like a $25 fee. Sometimes, like mine, but I'm in a different area, so you might have to worry about this, but my application was $200, but I didn't have a security deposit, or it was something that I didn't have to pay because yeah, that was my security deposit, basically, in so many words, but they call it an application fee, however they get around that. So be prepared to pay your first month's rent and security deposit. Sometimes your security deposit can be as low as $50 up to the same amount of rent that you have to pay. So when saving for your first apartment, your first month's rent and security deposit, just make it 2 times the rent that you're going to be paying. That way you're covered. And if anything, you'll end up having a little more. You saved a little more than you had to. But basically, That's how you're going to do that and be safe. You're going to need 2 forms of ID. If you're young and you don't possess your own social security card, or you haven't gotten a state ID yet, you need to go and do that, and you need to ask your parents for your social security card, which most of you all should be carrying by now. You need check stubs. You need check stubs from your place of work, probably the past three to be safe, to show what you're making. And excuse me. So your stubs and your 2 forms of ID. If you're genuinely self-employed, hopefully you've been making deposits somewhere into a bank, and that way you can retrieve statements that reflect those deposits, and hopefully you've been depositing them, you know, in a nice order to where it looks like, you know, when the apartment's looking at it, they're going to be like, okay, I see what you got going here. That's what you need to be prepared for money-wise. So just another quick rundown. Get a price range. Be making at least twice that amount of rent. Be prepared. So this is the part where you have to save first month's rent and security deposit, which is basically the rent twice, 2 times the rent. Be solid. You pay your security deposit and your first month's rent at the same time. Boom. Your check stubs, 2 forms of ID, and or bank statements. So money wise, that's what you need to be prepared for. Now, how to actually choose your first apartment. And I got a nice list here, so pay attention. How many bedrooms can you afford? Oh, that's my cat. Okay. A lot of you guys may have children already. You may have your first child, and I'm talking about you're between the ages of about 18 and your 20s. So you may have your first child already. So I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys that already have children before I get any further down the list. You don't, and I mean, depending on how old your child is, you got the baby any 2 years old and less. 2 years old and less, they don't need their own bedroom right now. You can get through another year. You can get through about another year before you probably have to upsize, or, you know, but if you're not looking to move again no time soon out of that apartment, typically your first apartment is not one that you really care for, or you're going to outgrow it soon. I wouldn't pay 2 bedrooms worth of rent there. You know, I wouldn't. So how many bedrooms can you afford, not need? And to those that don't have children, don't jump out there trying to get a 2-bedroom apartment just because you just want to have the extra space, just in case somebody come over and all of that. Cut it. They not paying your rent, you are. 1 bedroom, y'all, okay? 1 bedroom. Next, you're going to look at, where is this apartment located? You're going to be looking at many apartments. Many apartments are located near different things. And what type of person are you? I know that I don't cook. I didn't cook in the first, you know, when I first started getting my own apartments or whatever. Didn't cook, so I made sure I was near fast food, dollar stores, and things of that nature. So some things to look for location wise. Are you near a freeway? What is your large intersections? What's the traffic generally like out there? And by traffic, I mean what really be going on in that neighborhood. Drive through the area when it's dark too, because shit be coming to life. Y'all don't even understand how essential that is to go through an area when it's nighttime. I moved somewhere that had prostitutes out. I was getting off of work. It was prostitution time. So that was dangerous to me because I go and pick my baby up before I return home. So typically, sorry guys. So typically, I'm walking into the house at this odd hour with my child in my arm, or I'm holding her hand, and there's prostitutes and Johns walking and rolling up and down the street all night. So do your night crawling. Basic needs are, is this apartment around a grocery store? dollar stores, Family Dollar, Dollar General, you're around a pharmacy like CVS or Walgreens, something of that nature, in case the baby gets sick or in case you get sick and you need to be able to get to something, you know, near you. Childcare to my single parents, fathers, mothers, mostly mothers, I think is my audience. So mothers, are you close to your childcare? Because I don't know if you have vehicles. Some of you may not have vehicles. Some of you do. So are you on a bus line? Can you get back and forth to your child care? Maybe your child care provider picks up and drops off. Think about how far and what's the convenience of that. I feel like if you're working, you need to be close to child care because your car may break down, but you still got to get this baby to daycare because you still have to get to work, right? So think about that as well. So once you got your price range and then you have an area that you're looking at, so you checked out the location and the perks and what's nearby and everything, you're going to look at how these apartments look outside. How does it appear online and how does it appear, I check out ratings. I need to know. Because they're going to keep it real in the ratings, especially on Google. They had bed bugs. They had this issue. They had that issue. Management sucks. The attitudes is nasty. You need to go and get a general cluster of ideas. Because you may go and not have that same experience, though. But overall, you need to know what someone else experienced. So, let's see. How does it appear / rate online? If it looks nasty, let's say you did your drive-thru. You getting no baby? Let's say you did your on foot work and now you're walking into these places and you're going to these places for showings and viewings and everything. Does it look nasty on the outside? What does the management office look like? What does the buildings look like? Because before I even walk into the management office, I literally circle around the apartment in my car and look, you know, and see how's it looking and what's the traffic looking like, what type of people, what type of cars are out there, what type of people are coming in and out, you know, that's what I look at. I also look at if it's kid friendly because I have a baby, and by kid friendly I mean, are there other kids in the area type stuff, like, you know. So basically what I was getting at with that is, if the outside of the apartments look nasty, they probably are. They probably are, and it's a reflection of management, because if you can't get management to come out and fix something or take care of something, or shit's falling apart, the fucking doors don't match, the screen doors ate the fuck up, I mean, then that's typically a reflection of what you're going to be dealing with for your 12-month lease, for however long you're going to be staying there. And you got to think about that. Yes, this is your money you're going to be paying monthly, so you get to be that fucking picky. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't know. It was something about that. But I get really, really, really picky when it comes to looking at apartments. So I'm giving you guys how I would look for these apartments, and I feel like this is how you should. So you getting past the appearance. So let's say it looks good and it, you know, you can check that off because that's going well for you. Now you're going to look at things like what's included in the rent. Now you're actually in and you're talking to management, and we're also going to pay attention to customer service as well, because sometimes their attitudes is funky and you didn't do nothing to them. You're just trying to get, you know, I'm just trying to get me somewhere to live. We're going to pay attention to that too, because 9 times out of 10, these are the people you're going to have to deal with monthly. Something goes wrong in your apartment, and these are the people you're calling at the front desk, and bitch, you got an attitude, I will drag you up out of this fucking office. But see, you don't want nobody taking you there, because that. If you walk into somewhere and they don't provide adequate customer service, thank you for your fucking time and deuces. Because you don't, bitch, this my money I'm giving to y'all. This not no charity money. You don't have to stay. You don't even have to stay through that. Goodbye. Sorry, I can't do it personally. But customer service is great. You like the way the apartments look. You like where it's located and everything. You like the price of it. Now you're going to go in and you're actually going to talk to them. And you're going to see what's all included in the rent. So typically things that are included in rent are heat, water, waste removal, sometimes cable. I want to say I don't want to say sometimes energy, because I pay my own energy bill. It's like always that one bill you always have to pay on your own if everything else is included. So my apartment, everything's included. Only thing I pay is DTE. That's it. And DTE is our energy. So only thing I pay for is my light bill. That's it. What I plug into the walls and what I leave on. I don't even pay heat. So you're gonna look for that, because typically that kind of helps and knocks down your bills. And how do I put it? You'll probably be paying the same if it's not included, but you want to make things easier on yourself for your first apartment and see what is included. Now, push come to shove, you can't find something that's everything included. You'll just be paying your bills separate. You'll just have to make out more money orders in a month. And that's just a whole nother video, how to pay bills. So you're looking for what's included. And if it's ringing well with you when you like that, bet. So you on the road. Lucky you. You're going to look at what's inside the actual apartment itself. Depending on the style of the apartment, you know, things are going to be different. So you're going to, when you're doing your walkthrough or when you're asking your questions on your walkthrough, is there a washer and dryer hookup? Do they come with their own washer and dryer on top of that, you know? So some units will have, you can wash and dry your clothes inside your own apartment. Or you can't, but there's going to be an on-site facility where you can drag your clothes and your laundry basket to the laundry room or the laundry, you know, whatever you want to call it. But it's going to be on site and you have to pay quarters and stuff like that. Is there a dishwasher in your apartment? Are you good with washing your own dishes? Is there a dishwasher in your apartment? Is it up to speed? Is it new? Is it updated or whatever? And make sure it works. I have a dishwasher. This is my first time having a dishwasher. Love it. I run that shit all damn day. Fridge and stove. Typically these are included. So fridge and stove. Some places, if you're looking at your first house or something, not house to buy, but let's say where you are moving is going to be a house, they're probably not going to come with fridge and stove. But apartment wise, yes, they should come with a fridge and a stove. I look at closet space. I look at closet space because I'm junky and I want to know how much I can fit into my apartment. So do you have a storage room, closets, how big are the closets, and do the closets work for you? Think about that, because you may be moving out of mom's and you're coming with a lot of stuff. You need to hang stuff up. You need that space. You need closets. You need somewhere to put stuff until you get everything situated in your apartment, and you don't want it just all out laying around and junky and whatnot. Ventilation. Now, let's say you get a dated apartment. By dated, I mean it's a little older. Sometimes that's what our first apartments are. How is the ventilation system? How is the ventilation system? How is the heat administered? I've seen some places where they still have the standing metal or iron heat. Apartments still have those. Like, you can't touch it. You need to stay away from it because it's hot, and sometimes it blows out a little steam.
They got baseboard heat. You know what that is? Yes.
The baseboard heat vents, I've had those before. It literally wraps around the floor of your apartment, around the baseboard of your apartment, and it didn't bother me, but it's dated, you know. And I know we a little cooler, our generation. We don't want to see that shit, bitch. Give me a fucking vent, like, period. Give me a vent. And so look at that kind of stuff. If it don't bother you, cool, you good. You don't really have much to worry about. And honestly, we can't be this picky. You can't be that picky, because like I said, I took the apartment that had the baseboard heating. Like, I took it, so it worked for me. It didn't bother me, and I didn't care what nobody say, because I'm the only person that has to pay my rent. Do you control your heat? Some apartments are like, you turn it on and they set the temperature. Some apartments even decide if the heat runs or not. Make sure you control your own heat, because bitch, I'm not going to be dying for you, and then I'm not going to be cold as fuck in the wintertime. It's just not going to happen. So make sure that you ask about that. Some smaller nitpicks that I do are the mirrors in the bathroom. Some mirrors start waist height. When you walk in, your cabinet's at your waist and the mirror is up from there. Some mirrors are not even connected to your cabinet, are not even connected to your counter and your sink. They sit up taller, and I'm 4'11". I cannot have a mirror that's sitting at my eyebrows on up. Not happening. So I will literally turn down the apartment if the mirrors aren't hitting right for me in the bathrooms. So check out your mirrors if you're short, or but you know you like to take pictures, period. Like, you can always get a body mirror, but we starting off in our bathrooms because it's our first apartment, period. So does your apartment have carpet, wood, tile? Typically I don't think they would have wooden floors, but whatever. So carpet, tile, wood. What's the floors like? What are the floors like? Is it clean? Does that carpet need to be pulled up if you decided that you wanted to be there? Does that tile need to be redone? You let them know this before you move into that apartment, because you're going to be living there paying that rent, and you need to make it worth it as much as possible. What's outside in the apartment complex? Do you have a recreational center? Do they have an on-site gym? Do they have on-site childcare? Maybe I'm boosting a little too high with that one, but I know my mama had a nice apartment once and they had childcare center there, but I'm reaching. Realistically, no. Do they have a recreational center? Do they have an on-site gym? Do they have a pool? Do they have a park that's upkept and everything, and your kid can actually go, you know, and play at that park? Things like that. Some apartments don't. So, and typically they don't, but basically that was how I pick what apartment fits best for me, and that's how you're going to pick what apartment fits best for you. So I'm going to run through that list again really quick. How to choose the first apartment now that we're past the money. How many bedrooms can you afford, not need, unless you have children 3, 4 and up. Where is it located? What's around it for your convenience? How does it appear? What does these apartments look like online? What do they look like in person? How is the customer service of the management office? Does it look nasty, or does it look well kept? And you know, what's included in the rent? Make your bill paying easier for you. What's included in the rent? What's inside the apartment? Do you have your washer and dryer hookup? Do you have dishwasher? Do you have your fridge? Do you have stove? What's outside? Do they have a hall? Do they have a gym? Do they have a recreational center, etc.? Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But this is your first apartment, so we're not going to reach too high. Once you get through those things, you're going to narrow down your top 3. Narrow down your top 3. And as you communicate with the apartment complex, you should be calling and letting them know you're interested, or you have your security deposit. When can I come in and apply? Once you narrow down your top 3 and you just keep looking, and then you finally decide, okay, I found the one out of the 3. You're on your way to your first apartment, and congratulations. That is apartment hunting 101. I kept it as real as I really could. I'm not being unrealistic. Depending on where you stay, I know the cost of living is high somewhere, so $500 for your first apartment probably is way low, but it may not be. So you're going to keep your first month's rent really low. Maybe you have parents or family that help, so you're blessed enough to be able to look a little higher than that and in a nicer area than what you're going to get out of that lower rent. But that's how you're going to do that. And then next video, I will talk to you guys about how to pay bills, and this should typically be universal. So how to pay bills and how to handle your business once you're in your own apartment and everything like that. And I will also be doing a video on how to budget and manage your money, because people have been requesting, and I'm a stickler on that. So I'm just going to help you guys just gonna help you guys with some real advice, like with some real spiel. So hope you guys enjoyed that video. Any video requests, leave them down in the comments below. Go in the description box, subscribe to me, subscribe to my other channels and everything, and follow my social medias. You guys still reach out to me on my social medias. That's super sweet and that's super cool. Let's see if we can like keep it in the comments now, because my request on Instagram is building up, and I kind of did that to myself, but I like responding to y'all, interacting with y'all. So now it's like commenting is the best way to get my attention, because my Instagram is, at this point, it's like, at least I know I see all of y'all comments. I heart them, I like them, I respond to some of them, and you know, let's try to keep it in the comments now. I still love you guys all the same, but the numbers is just going up some, and it's just, so let's do all of those things, baby gang. We're gonna rock it out. Any other advice you guys need, life advice, let me know. Like, this is like surviving after high school at this point. So basically, give this video a thumbs up. I don't know who be thumbsing my shit down. I feel like I got a troll, but when I find out, I got words for you, bro. Y'all, food stamps just hit, bitch, gotta go.
Hey, you got it, drop Ferrari. Hey, you got it, hoes, Menage.